जय।
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामा कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरापुरी धाम की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय, गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय, श्याम वेद भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल। All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण।
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण।
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण।
All glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hari Hari Bol. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. So today we are reading Canto 1, Chapter 11, text number 35. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यास ततो जाय मुदीरये शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तन हृद्यन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विदनोति सर्वत्सतां नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So I will recite shlok for 3 times and then you can recite. स एव नरलोकेऽस्मिन् अवतीर्णः स्वमायया रेमे स्त्रीरत्नकूटस्थो भगवान् प्राकृतो यथा स एष नरलोकेऽस्मिन् अवतीर्णः स्वमायया रेमे स्त्रीरत्नकूटस्थो भगवान् प्राकृतो यथा स एष नरलोकेऽस्मिन् अवतीर्णः स्वमायया रेमे स्त्रीरत्नकूटस्थो भगवान् प्राकृतो यथा. Please recite.
स एष नरलोकेऽस्मिन् अवतीर्णः स्वमायया रेमे स्त्रीरत्नकूटस्थो भगवान् प्राकृतो यथा.
हरे कृष्ण. स एष नरलोकेऽस्मिन् अवतीर्णः स्वमायया रेमे श्रीरत्नकूटस्थो भगवान् प्राकृतो यथा. हरे कृष्ण.
स एव नरकूटस्थो स एव नरलोकोऽस्मिन् अवतीर्णः स्वमायया रेमे स्त्रीरत्नकूटस्थो भगवान् प्राकृतो यथा.
स एष नरलोकेऽस्मिन् अवतीर्णः स्वमायया रेमे स्त्रीरत्नकूटस्थो भगवान् प्राकृतो यथा.
हरे कृष्ण. स एष नरलोकेऽस्मिन् अवतीर्णः स्वमायया रेमे स्त्रीरत्नकूटस्थो भगवान् प्राकृतो यथा.
Anyone else would like to say? Okay, so I'll recite now. Sa esha naralokesmin avatirna swamayaya reme stri ratnakutastho bhagavan prakrato yatha. Synonyms: Saha, he, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Esha, all these. Narloke, on this planet of human beings. Asmin, on this. Avatiranaha, having appeared. Swa, personal or internal. Mayaya, causeless mercy. Reme, enjoyed. Stri Ratna, woman who is competent to become a wife of the Lord. Kutastha, among Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Prakrataha, mundane. Yatha, as if it were. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnarin Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, out of his causeless mercy appeared on this planet by his internal potency and enjoyed himself amongst competent women as if he were engaging in mundane affairs. Report: the Lord married and lived like a householder. This is certainly a mundane affair, but when we learn that he married 16,108 wives and lived with them separately in each and every palace, certainly it is not mundane. Therefore, the Lord living as a householder amongst his competent wives is never mundane, and his behavior with them is never to be understood as mundane sex relation. The women who became the wives of the Lord are certainly not ordinary women, because to get the Lord as one's husband is a result of many millions of births, tapasya, austerity. When the Lord appears on different lokas or planets or on this planet of human beings, it displays his transcendental pastimes just to attract the conditioned souls to become his eternal servitors, friends, parents, and lovers, respectively, in the transcendental world, where the Lord eternally reciprocates such exchange of service. Service is pervertedly represented in this material world and broken untimely, resulting in a sad experience. The illusion living being conditioned by material nature cannot understand out of ignorance that all our relations here in mundane world are temporary and full of inabilities. Such relations cannot help us be happy perpetually, but if same relation is established with the Lord, then we are transferred to the transcendental world after leaving this material body and become eternally related with him in the relation we desire. The women amongst whom he lived as the husband are not, therefore, women of this mundane world, but are eternally related with him as transcendental wives, a position which they attained by perfection of devotional service. That is their competency. Lord is Param Brahma, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Conditioned soul seeks after perpetual happiness in all places, but not only on this earth, but also on other planets throughout the universe, because constitutionally a spiritual spark as he is can travel to any part of the God's creation. But being conditioned by the material modes, he tries to travel in space by spacecraft and so fails to reach his destination. The law of gravitation is binding upon him like the shackles of a prisoner. By other process, he can reach anywhere, but even if he reaches the highest planet, he cannot attain that perpetual happiness for which he is searching life after life. When he comes to his senses, however, he seeks after Brahman happiness, knowing it for certain that unlimited happiness which he is seeking is never attainable in the material world. As such, the Supreme Being Per Brahman certainly does not seek his happiness anywhere in the material world, nor can his paraphernalia of happiness be found in the material world. He is not impersonal because he is the leader and the Supreme Being amongst innumerable living beings. He cannot be impersonal. He is exactly like us, and he has all the propensities of an individual living being in fullness. He marries exactly like us, but his marriage is neither mundane nor limited by our experience in the conditioned state. His wives therefore appears like mundane women, but factually they are all transcendental, liberated souls, perfect manifestations of internal energy. Om Ajnanatimirasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishramsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajim Shadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krish Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namaom Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauramani Prachane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatani Shanamat Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishna Chaitanya Namne Guruttashunama Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rup Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopikant Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhaktin Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are going to discuss this verse, Canto 1, Chapter 11, Text 35. Sa esha narlokesmin avatirna swamaya reme striratana kutosto bhagavan prakrato yatha. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, appeared on this planet by his internal potency and enjoyed himself amongst competent women as if he were engaging in mundane affair. So the very first important point, this verse giving us the information is that when Lord comes and performs his pastimes, in this material world, so that pastime is basically he's performing by his internal potency. So when a common human being, when a common human being works, do activity in the material world, we do not say that it is pastime. Like suppose if I am doing something or you are like doing something, or other people, they are doing a job, we are going somewhere, we are like eating, talking, dancing, whatever we are doing, right? So whatever a mundane person does activity, they are not called pastimes. But when Lord comes and does activity, it is called pastime. Because there is a difference between the Lord's activity and our activity. Our activities are not pastime, while Lord's activity are pastime. Because in third canto, Srila Prabhupada says that pastime means the activity which you do for your enjoyment, not by force. We like common human being here, we forced to do work. We are not, it's not natural that we are coming and doing work. It's not natural. We are forced. And we are not doing because out of our own will. It is forced by our karma, it is forced by the material modes of nature, it's forced by the time. We are under the grip of this time, material nature, and our karma. While Lord, when he comes here in the material world, first of all, his coming to material world is also not forced. A common living entity here, they are forced to take birth. We cannot say, oh, after this life, I'm not going to take birth, I'm taking vacation. Or I'm on PTO, or I'm pause, I'm not going to take any more bodies. We cannot say that. We cannot say that. We forget about that. Tomorrow, what we are going to do, we cannot say that tomorrow I'm not going to do anything. You cannot say that I'm not going to breathe. You cannot say that I'm not going to drink water, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to walk. You cannot say that, because these are forced by the nature, and we are helpless. We are helpless. We are under control of material nature. We are under the control of time. We are under the control of karma. We are under the control of demigods. We are forced to do these activities. We are not independent. We are independent, but minute independence. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the very first verse, Janamadiyasetu Anvayat Itatas Charteshu Abhigya Swarat. In that verse, it is mentioned that Krishna or Vasudev, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's Swarat. Swarat means he's supremely independent. He's the last word in the transcendence. There is nobody beyond Krishna. He's the controller, and nobody is controlling Krishna. He's a supreme controller and is supreme. He's a supremely independent. So when Krishna comes here, he comes to the material world out of his sweet will only. Out of his sweet will only means he is not forced by anyone for any reason. When he wants, he comes. Nobody can force him. Nobody can summon him. Nobody can do anything because Krishna is supremely independent. But we, living entity, we are all under the control of Krishna's energy, either Maya or internal potency. And when Krishna appears in the material world, he appears by his internal potency. Swamayaya. This word here, what is very important point is that Swamayaya. This Maya, this Mahamaya, like this, we are in the material world, this Mahamaya is the external potency of the Lord. Swamaya is internal potency of the Lord. And we, the living entity, we are the marginal potency of the Lord. So we have a choice. Like Srila Prabhupada always says that like we have a choice as a living entity where we should go. Like we cannot live independently. Either we have to live under the internal potency of the Lord, or we have to live under the external potency of the Lord. So the living entities which are under the internal potency of the Lord, they are liberated soul. They are always liberated soul. Nitya Mukta Jivas, like that. And the living entity which are under the control of Maya or the external potency of the Lord, they are Nitya Baddha or eternally conditioned souls. Here the most of the souls in the material world are like Nitya Baddha Jivas. We are basically eternally conditioned souls. So this Swamaya means like Krishna comes, he comes in the in his own internal potency. Even though he appears in the material world is a manifestation of external energy of the Lord. So Mayavadis, they say that, well, when Krishna comes, he takes the material form, which is Krishna rejected in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is very clearly rejected this thing in Bhagavad Gita in the verse 4.9. Janma karmacha me divyam evam viveti tattva tayaktva deham punarjam nayati mamiti sarjuna. In that verse, Krishna clearly says that my janma and my karma are transcendental. They are divine. They are not ordinary. And anyone who knows that, first of all, my janma and karma are divine, transcendental. And anyone who knows that factually, so anyone who know that my janma and karma is transcendental, my divine, even just by knowing that, they will also not take birth again. So we all have this material body, and we are basically in this material world. If we understand that Krishna's activities and Krishna's janma means appearance here in the material world, where the body that Krishna has is not material. If you understand that very clearly and accept it, then we will not going to have birth again in this material world. Janma karma chame divyam evam viveti tattvata. Tattvata means factuality. When we know that, there will be no more birth in the material world. So here, this is the main important point here. Is mentioned is avatirana. Like Krishna appeared here by this own material, own spiritual potency or internal potency. And after that, when he appears here, what he does, he actually enjoy his pastimes. So like we, as a common living entity, we are basically, we are forced to do work. Like In the morning, we have to do certain work. In the afternoon, we have to do certain work. In the evening, we have to do certain work. In the night, we have to sleep. Now, there are certain things we have to do on schedule, on time, like that, something like that, right? But Krishna, when he was there, he's not forced by time, he's not forced by karma, he's not forced by anyone else. He's doing his activity according to his own pleasure. So here he says that he enjoyed with his 16,108 wives. So he married, or he accepted actually 16,108 women to be his wives. And he was so competent that he was able to manage all wives at one shot. We know that in today's world, to manage one wife is very challenging. Even that managing will become very, very difficult. But Krishna managed, and Krishna take care of 16,108 wives at one time. He was taking care of every one of them at the same time. That was very, very very, very astonished for the common man. So we'll see, like Srila Prabhupada actually mentioned where these points in the purport. Will go through that. So here Srila Prabhupada says that the Lord married and lived like a householder. So this is like Srila Prabhupada is talking about the Dwarka Leela. So Krishna has generally we see Krishna Leela in three sections. The Krishna Leela in Vrindavan, the Krishna Leela in Mathura, and the Krishna Leela in Dwarka. So initial few around 11 years, Krishna was in Vrindavan, where he performed the many sweet pastimes with the gopis and the gopas and all this. And when he was in Mathura, he was basically perform the pastimes of fighting with Jarasandha and taking care of his parents and all. And then about roughly around 100 years he was in Dwarka. So while he was in Dwarka, he was a householder there. So here that's why Srila mentioned the Lord married and lived like a householder. This is certainly like a mundane affair, but when we learn that he married 16,108 wives and lived with them separately, see, this word is in italics. This special attention is given here. If we see in the Veda base, lived with them separately. So there is not that Krishna was there and all 16,108 were at one place. No, they were all in their separate palaces, right? And he was taking care of them in each and every palaces separately. Means Krishna is expanding. When Krishna used to enter in Dwarka, he used to expand into 16,108 forms, and he used to go each and every palace individually, separately, so that every wife was thinking that Krishna is with me only. Krishna is with me only. So like that. So here I say that they lived with them separately in each and every palaces. Certainly it is not mundane, because in mundane world it's not possible. You cannot have this kind of clones and then you can actually and same personality. There is a difference between cloning, copying, or there is a different expansion. So when Krishna was doing, he was expanding himself. He was expanding. Means same Krishna is going in each and every palace. We need to understand that's an important point here. Therefore, the Lord living as a householder amongst his competent wives. This is another important word Srila Prabhupada mentioned, the competent. See, this is compatibility is very important nowadays, in a marriage. Like we say, the boy and girl, they should look who are competent to my wife, who are competent to my husband, like that. And we are most of the time we fail. Because there is always a fight after marriage, and then sometime it end up in a very severe situation. Nowadays is happening more, but point is that Krishna was living as a householder among competent wives. Means they become Krishna's wives not by they are not ordinary mundane women. They were competent. Means Srila Prabhupada is going to explain that why they are competent later. We'll see that. And he's never mundane. His behavior with them is never to be understood as mundane sex relation. So somebody might say that, well, Krishna has 16,108 women. Means he must be enjoying a lot of sexual activities, right? But it's not that it is mentioned that Krishna never discharged semen. I know, Krishna, like nobody can attract Krishna, like in that form. So all these for Krishna to associate with his wife, he don't need to be associate like an ordinary man associating with ordinary woman. That is a mundane sex relationship. But Krishna is on the transcendental platform. His all activities are transcendental. So that relationship is beyond this mundane experience. So that's why Srila Prabhupada say that it is never to be understood as mundane sex relation. Generally, people think that as soon as they see, oh, Krishna has so many wives, so it means he must be doing the way we are doing. It's not like that. So here, this is Srila Prabhupada very clearly mentioning that this is not, people should not mistake that point. The women who became wives of the Lord are certainly not ordinary women. Here, Srila Prabhupada is giving reason why they are competent wives. Because they are not ordinary women. Because to get Lord's husband as a result of many months, many millions of births of tapasya. First of all, most of the wives there were internal potency of Krishna, like Rukmani, Satyabhama, like they are internal potency of Krishna. But certain living entity also get promoted to the position of the wife of Krishna. And those are not ordinary living entities. Say, like you see in the pastime of Lord Ram, when Lord Ram was basically traveling all over India, and ultimately like in Dandkaranya forest and in the like Chitrakoot and everywhere when he was going. So many sages were doing tapasya for long, many hundreds of thousands of millions of years. They actually requested Lord that please accept me as your wife. Lord Ram says that, well, in this life, I have taken a vow of ek patni vrata. I'm going to accept only one wife in this incarnation, in this pastime, but I will fulfill your desire when I come in mother form of my original form of Krishna. So that time, like, so that's why Prabhupada say that, like, some of them were basically promoted at the position of the wife of Krishna, and they are basically, but they have performed many millions of births of tapasya. Many. It's not ordinary. They have done so much of purification to achieve that position to become a wife of Krishna. When the Lord appears on different lokas or planets or on this planet of human being, so Lord take incarnation in many places. These different lokas in our material world, in this particular one universe where we are, there are 14 planetary system. We have like starting from Brahmaloka, then Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka. There are three heavenly, above heavenly planetary system. Then we have Swargaloka, then Bhuvarloka, which is the Antariksh on the outer space. Then we have Bhuloka. Then below we have Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal. There are 7 below. So Krishna can Krishna can appear on any lokas or any planets, or in this planet of human being, this is Narloke. When we say called Narloke, Mrityuloke, Bhuloke, or Earth planet, they are same thing, because human beings are on this Earth planet. He displays his transcendental pastime just to attract conditioned souls to become his eternal servitors, friends, parents, lovers, respectively, in the transcendental world, where Lord eternally reciprocates such exchange of service. So if you see, like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that the reason of Krishna's coming here and doing activities, yada yada dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam dharmasya tadatmanam sarjamyam paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya dushkritam dharma sansthapanartha sambhavami yuve. So there are 3 reasons Krishna gave there is, right, to protect the devotees, to annihilate the miscreants, and to reestablish the dharma. That is the main 3 reasons that he gives, that he comes here. But another reason is given here. Srila Prabhupada says that, so when Krishna comes and performs his pastimes, transcendental pastimes, so the conditioned souls who are suffering this material world, they become attracted towards Krishna. And now they want to have that relationship with Krishna, like either as a servitor. Srila Prabhupada mentioned there 4 here. He did not include the Shanta rasa here. He included the other 4 rasas: Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. He put 4 things here: the eternal servitor, eternal friendship, eternal like the parents relationship, and the lover relationships. And those relationships, because they are on the transcendental platform, they are eternal. That's what Prabhupada mentioned next, like which is very important, that the relationship in the material world and the relationship in the spiritual world, how they are different. So that's like we are going to discuss that later. Service is pervertedly presented in material world and broken untimely, resulting in a sad experience. So our relationships are based on service. It's based on service, right? So say for example, we can say two friends are there. There's a relationship of friendship. So friendship means you care of your friend, friend will take care of you. It's like mutual thing. It is rarely we have seen that only one friend is doing all the work, other friend is just enjoying, right? Similarly, we see relationship of a husband and wife or a man and a woman. They are based on some kind of exchange, some kind of that you do this service to me, I do this service to you, right? Like wife does service to the husband, husband does serve the wife. Similarly, we have relationship between even parent and the children. Like when the children are little or younger, parents take care of them. But when the children grown up, they're supposed to take care of parents, which they are not doing. That's a separate thing. But they're supposed to take care of their parents, older parents, but it's not happening because they don't want to serve. They don't want to serve. They are Kirtagna, they are Maisa. They don't want to take care of. They don't want to reciprocate their love for their parents. So that's why Srila Prabhupada mentioned it, resulting in sad experience. Now, sometimes we have friendship, but friendship, like nowadays, friendship means, are you my Facebook friend? Are you my Instagram friend? Are you my this friend? Now there's social media is there. So friendship have now a different paradigm, different thing. Like, previously friendship means, I remember in my old like childhood days, like, when we call somebody friend means really friend. Means we really help that person and that person really helps and we talk and we are really like very, 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 exchanging talks and those kind of things. Nowadays, there are different level of friendship. Like whether you are my social media friend, you are my like like my career friend, my personal family friend. There are different type of friendship are there. But again, we see that relationship doesn't go for longer period of time. As soon as there is some misunderstanding, it broke untimely without any reason. We see that even we see like relationship between husband and wife also. Nowadays, so many divorces are happening because misunderstanding. Because one person don't want to serve other person don't want to serve other. That's why there is resulting in a sad experience. And see nowadays, even like children and parents, they also having this relationship problems. Previously it was not there, but now we have seen that like kids are fighting with their parents and parents are also not liking their children. So they all are resulting in a sad experience. Here, like Shilpa next mentioned, the illusion living being conditioned by material nature cannot understand out of ignorance that all our relations here in mundane world are temporary and full of inabilities. So this is, even though we have so much experience, we hear every day we hear there, so what is happening to our family, we are happening to our friends. Pretty much like, like 15-20 years back, I hardly used to hear divorce cases or like for fight between parent and the kids. But nowadays commonly, like even in like India, I see like some children, they are not taking care of their parents, they are throwing them out from the houses, they are taking their property, they are putting in somewhere else, and they are like husband and wife, they're fighting in the very first year of their marriages, like so many problems are coming because they are not understanding this marriage or this like a relationship in this material world is temporary. Like they have expectation which is basically not fulfilled by each other, so that's why there is always a problem. So like here Shilpa mentioned that these relationships in the material world are temporary. These relationships cannot make us happy perpetually. Such relations cannot help us be happy perpetually. But if the same relation is established with the Lord, then we are transferred to a transcendental world after leaving the material body and become eternally related with him in relation with desire. But now Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that if we have same relationship with Krishna, say for example, we have relationship of friendship, or we have parental relationship, like we have like our kids, or we have relationship of like conjugal lover. So if we have that relation with Krishna, because Krishna is eternal, Krishna is always living in the spiritual world, and when we build this relationship, even though this material world is get destroyed, because Krishna is already there, our relationship will stay as is. And then we can actually exchange our love with Krishna in the spiritual world. This is what Prabhupada mentioned, that even after leaving this material body and became eternally related with him in relation with desire. So because any relation we made with Krishna is eternal, whether we have relationship in like Srila Prabhupada mentioned like 5 types of relationships, relationship in Shanta Rasa, Dasya Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa. In whichever form we relate ourselves with Krishna, that relationship is permanent. So like we see Vasudeva and Devaki, they are not their parents only in the time when he appeared as Krishna. We see that pastime that Prashni and Sutpa, they actually worship the Lord long millions of years ago. They worship the Lord, and then after when they were worshiping the Lord appeared in front of them, and Lord asked them like, ask me the benediction. Then they asked like Krishna, like the Lord, that please, we want a son like you. And then Lord says, well, there is nobody like me who is compatible like me to become your son. So I will become your son. And not even one lifetime, I'm going to become 3 lifetimes. So that Prashni and Sutpa, first lifetime, they become the parents of Lord's incarnation called Prashni Garbha. His name was Prashni Garbha. Lord appeared as the son of Prashni, and he became the with the name Prashni Garbha. In the second lifetime, this Prashni and Sutpa, they become Kashyapa and Aditi, and the Lord appeared as Vamandev as their son. And now in the third time, they became Vasudeva and Devaki, and Lord appeared as Krishna. So this is like that relationship is eternal. And then Vasudeva and Devaki, they are now eternally their parents in the spiritual world. As we see Mother Yashoda, she is the eternal mother of the Lord. She is the eternal mother. And we see Putana, like when Putana came to kill Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna like delivered Putana, and not even he delivered, but he actually gave the position of nurse, Dhatri, like in the spiritual world. So Putana is there in the spiritual world serving Krishna in the form of like nurse. So that relationship is now permanent. So because she came to Vrindavan with the mood that I'm going to feed this milk to Krishna, but she has a like this motive also, which is basically she want to kill Krishna. So, but Krishna only took the mood of mother, like where a mother want to feed the child with her breast milk. So Krishna took that mood. He took this part and he rejected the other part, and he took that part and gave the position of mother for Putana. So this is like what Prabhupada mentioned, that this relationship with Krishna will become eternal. The women among us whom he lived as a husband are not therefore women of this mundane world, but eternally related with him as a transcendental wives, a position which they attained by perfection of devotional service. So these are all transcendental women, like Shilpa mentioned. They have done this by perfection of devotional service. Means they have performed bhakti in their previous lives, and because of that bhakti, they are promoted to this position of Krishna. That is their competency. Yeah, this is what I was mentioning, that competent. Why they are competent? Because they got perfection in devotional service. The Lord is Param Brahma, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Conditioned souls seek after perpetual happiness in all places, not only in this earth, but also on planets throughout the universe. So now this portion of purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that all the living entities in this material world, they are looking for happiness, searching for happiness, right? On this earth planet, we are searching for various ways. We are searching for happiness. Not even on this earth planet, when we go, or living entity goes to the higher planetary system like Swargaloka or Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, they are all looking happiness. They are searching for happiness. Because why we need happiness? Because Srila say we are constitutionally a spiritual spark. We are happy living entity actually. But we are right now in a situation we are suffering. So our natural position is that we are happy, but right now we are in a wrong place. So that's why Srila say that like wherever a spiritual spark or a living entity goes, they are looking for happiness only. Whether they are on the Earth planet, whether they are on any higher planetary system within this universe, or you can actually go beyond this universe. Beyond this universe, that's what Prabhupada says that. But being conditioned by material modes, he tries to travel in space by a spacecraft and so fail to reach his destination. Means people are think that when we go to moon or when we go to Mars or we go somewhere else, we will get more happy. That's why they do this material arrangement to actually go to the other planets. But what happened? Then Shirava said that the law of gravitation is binding upon him like the shackles of a prisoner. Like you cannot go out of this. You cannot really defy this law of gravitation. You have to ultimately come back here and stay. So this is the point. Is there Prabhupada says that like you really cannot go against the laws of nature. Laws of nature is you are going to come here. But there is another process through which you can actually go. Like easy journey to other planets. Srila Prabhupada write this book, Easy Journey to Other Planets, where he mentioned that you can go to other planets not by material arrangement, but there are other ways that you can do it. That is called yoga process. So by other processes, here Prabhupada mentioned, by other process means here yoga. That's what we are talking. He can reach anywhere. You can actually get Ashta Siddhi, like like different kind of siddhis through which you can actually travel in the space. You can go to any planets where you want. You can reach there, right? So he can reach anywhere. But even if he reaches the highest planet, so suppose if you take the process of yoga, and you can transfer yourself to any higher planetary system, like here Prabhupada said, but even if he reach the highest planet, he cannot attain that perpetual happiness for which he is searching life after life. Even to the Brahmaloka, even you reach the highest planet on this planetary system, which is the abode of Lord Brahma, still you cannot get the happiness which you are looking for. Because what the happiness that what we are seeking will not get that. Say suppose if you are thirsty and you want at least one big glass of cold water to quench your thirst, and instead of that you are getting one drop. So will one drop will satisfy you? No. In the material world, we are looking for happiness like a ocean of water. And what we are getting, we are in a desert, we are getting one simple drop, and that too also sometime. Sometime it comes, sometime it doesn't even come. So that is why Prabhupada says that they will not get happiness in this material world. So when he comes to the his senses, however, he seeks after Brahman happiness. Now this is called Brahman, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that. So like when he comes to senses means now he understands. When a living entity gets frustrated in the material world, now he's no longer looking for material happiness. Then he seeks after Brahman happiness, like Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So he's looking for a Brahman happiness, knowing it for certain that unlimited happiness. Then he saw that Brahma Bhauma Sukha. Generally in Upanishads, it's mentioned that we are all looking for Bhauma Sukha. Bhauma Sukha means like unlimited happiness. Unlimited. We are not satisfied by limited happiness. If you get happiness, say like somebody offer you, hey, you will be happy for next 1 year. Say, okay, I will be happy for 1 year, but after that, what's after that? Then there will then it's continuous suffering. No, we don't want that. Because we are looking for unlimited happiness. Means never ending happiness. Unlimited means in the size and across the time. So that happiness which is seeking is never attainable in the material world. This we come to realization. That's why our Vedanta Sutra says that Athato Brahma Jigyasaha. The very first thing that we should inquire about Brahman. Seek after Brahman happiness. As such, the Supreme Being Param Brahma certainly does not seek his happiness anywhere in the material world. Similarly, Lord Krishna is not really seeking the happiness in the material world here. So nor can his paraphernalia of happiness be found in the material world. He is not impersonal because he is the leader and supreme being amongst the innumerable living beings. It cannot be impersonal. So here Srila Prabhupada mentioned that Lord is never impersonal, or Brahman is never impersonal. People think that Brahman is impersonal, but Brahman, the highest position of Brahman is the Supreme Personality Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, Bhagavan. That is the position that we need to get in. He's exactly like us. What does that mean, exactly like us? Because as we are spiritual living being, Krishna is also a living being. We are Atma, Krishna is Paramatma. But he is all powerful. He is like unlimitedly powerful, unlimitedly knowledgeable. So all those features are there. That's Krishna going to mention next year. Srila Prabhupada is going to mention next year. He's exactly like us, and he has all the propensities of individual living being in fullness. So whatever propensity we have a limited quantity, or either we have or we don't have it. Even if we have it, it is in a limited quantity. But Krishna has all these propensities in fullness, complete and unlimited. Like that we say, like Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamuchyate Uchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vishishyate. So Krishna is perfect and complete. Everything is there in the Krishna is complete. Is like any propensity, like knowledge. We talk about knowledge or beauty or wealth, or renunciation. Anything what we talk about, any opulence. That's why the word Bhagavan means the 6 opulence in fullness. They are mentioned. They mentioned that they are all in fullness. While in individual living entity, they are in minute quantity. So he marries exactly like us. But he perform activity, here comes and do Narlila, or what we call the human-like pastime he performs here. But his marriage is neither mundane nor limited by our experience in conditioned state. His wives therefore appear like mundane women, but factually they are all transcendental liberated souls, perfect manifestation of internal energy. So Srila Prabhupada is concluding this purport by saying that, so we should not like consider that the activity or exchange between Krishna and his wives in Dwarka Lila, they are not on a mundane platform. They are transcendental, because the wives are transcendental. They are not ordinary women. They are like they are perfect souls, who are either they are basically Lord's internal associates, or they are living souls who are perfected in the devotional service. They become competent to become the wife of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna himself, he's a transcendental personality. He's not an ordinary living entity. And he comes here to perform his sweet pastime out of his own sweet will, not forced by anything. So even the relationship that Krishna is performing, the pastime he's performing in Dwarka with his wives, he's not doing by force, as we are supposed to do it. Like we are basically the ordinary living entity. We are performing, we are doing our service to our wife, to our husband, by some kind of obligation. But Krishna is not under that. Krishna is doing all these pastimes out of his own sweet will. So that's Prabhupada mentioned here in the summary here. So let me stop here and see like if anyone have any comments or any questions or any realization they want to share.
If anybody has questions or comments, please just unmute yourself and go ahead. I think it's one of those classes where we are reminded of his supremacy. So it's for the past few classes, that is the theme that has been going on, is to understand his position, that he is not ordinary, and
yes, Mataji.
We should understand that he is supreme. And in different aspects, the point is being made. So that has been really nice.
Yes, I think like most of the people think that Krishna's pastimes are mentioned in 10th canto. Like generally we see like first 9 canto people skip, like Srila Prabhupada many times mentioned that many people they skip first 9 canto, they want to go to 10th canto to and relish the Krishna's pastime. But actually we see all Krishna's pastime, most of the pastimes are also mentioned in the first canto.
Mhm.
So right from the beginning, like it is very clear that who is Krishna. So don't take it like an ordinary like thing, like because 10th canto is the summum bonum, but right from the first canto, it is clearly mentioned that Krishna is supreme personality of God.
Mhm. I remember when we moved back to Canto 1 from, we were on Canto 10, Chapter 13, and
Yes.
it felt like we were going at 60 miles an hour, and all of a sudden there was a sudden break and we were moving back. But I realize now, and I'm so grateful that that decision was made. It's been a very nice journey. And like I was saying on Sunday, it is so good to hear every day in the morning in order. And deeply, not just skimming through it and just reading it very quickly, but actually listening to it, going through the purport line by line like you did today. So it has been a very nice experience.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Each and every word of Srila Prabhupada have deep meanings.
Absolutely.
We like I always relish each and every word, especially because they have so many, and Srila Prabhupada have arranged the purport in such a nice way that everything is systematic, very systematic, right from the first canto. So yes, Mataji.
That definitely is the word. It's that it's systematic. It's not a hodgepodge. It's not haphazard. And like Kratu Prabhu was saying yesterday, that has been the problem in India. It has become a very big problem because we are all over the map. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Right.
Means absolutely no understanding of anything.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, I see one raised hand, Kalpesh and Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for such a detailed class, and I appreciate a lot. So I have been came across one of the arguments in the Islamic group, particularly targeting India or even worldwide, and maybe some of the Christian missionaries. They are trying to misuse this Sri Krishna's Leela, 16,000 wife. They kind of start teasing people with saying that, what kind of God is this? He is having 16,000 wife. So those are the things which are being commented. And the one with the poor fund of knowledge, like people who don't really read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, or any Vedas or anything, they are kind of eluded and they do their baptism and they convert them. So how do we really, knowing that we know this, all this thing, and there is a great conversion happening in the missionaries and the Islamic, they are trying to convert people. So how do we really propagate this right knowledge in a very, with all classes of societies of the people? Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. No, yeah, it's a very good point that you mentioned. Main point is that we need authorized preachers. Authorized preachers means the bona fide preachers. That's very important because Srila Prabhupada stressed this point very importantly, that like a preacher should be in a bona fide sampradaya, or in a like there are 4 sampradayas which are bona fide or which are authorized in this age of Kali Yuga, which which are basically which are propagating this Vedic knowledge, and topmost and the main is like our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So until unless you are not really hearing from people who are bona fide, you will going to misled. That's granted, because there are many people who are presenting or who are giving the Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita because they have some material motives. They want name, fame, money, some kind of things are there, which some material benefit they are looking out of that. But we should basically give this message without any any kind of material motive. So that's what Srila Prabhupada actually mentioned here, that we should propagate this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in a parampara. In a parampara means like we should hear attentively. We should hear attentively and submissively from our gurus, our spiritual master. And after hearing, we should assimilate on the knowledge, we contemplate on the knowledge, and we should develop a faith on the knowledge. And once we develop the faith, and with that faith, we should actually go and tell other people. But as you know, this is the age of like Kali. So there are many people who are basically giving false information or wrong information or information just to basically get some material benefit. So we have to basically aware of those. And when I know it's because the right type of preachers are not that much in the society, while the wrong or the people who are like rascals, there are so many rascals in the society who are basically doing this wrong thing. So we somehow or other we have to speed up our preaching. I would say we have to really speed up our preaching. Means we have to make nice group of preachers who can go and preach every town and village, to remove that misconception or wrong preaching which is done in the society, so that the people can accept the right type of knowledge from the right source. So it is a great work. It is a great work. We have to do it. And Srila Prabhupada has actually prepared all of us. He has given his books, which are basically so much filled with this good transcendental knowledge. So what we have to do is we have to hear it, we have to take it, and then we have to go and preach. But again, point is that again, we should not be depressed, even though we are less in number, but because it is Krishna's words, when we preach, it will make the impact. So I think we should whoever can do collectively, like say individually we can make our own effort, collectively as an organization we can make effort. But again, because the world is so huge, so we have to basically spread this knowledge as much as possible. And again, on an individual level, we can do limited efforts, because we are not unlimited. We are only limited people. So we can do limited efforts. But whatever we can do, we can just contribute, become an instrument in this mission of Srila Prabhupada's mission of preaching this Krishna consciousness. So again, it's all up to Krishna, like how we want to go there, because it is the age of Kali. As I say that things are happening, but we are trying to promote Krishna consciousness, and Krishna is very pleased to see that we are trying to do this. But again, it's the age of Kali. We really cannot expect that everything will become Krishna conscious. Because if that's the case, then it will become Satyuga. Our desire is that we have a desire to make everyone Krishna conscious. Whether it's going to happen or not, that is not in my hand. But all I can do is what is in my hand, what is my efforts are. So we have to think about our own efforts, whatever we can do it, and then we see the change in the world. Like even if we can, Srila Prabhupada, I was reading in fourth canto, that where Srila Prabhupada mentioned that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to say that if I can make one person a pure devotee, my mission will be successful, right? So it means they know, our acharyas know that how complex this world is, how difficult this world is not an easy world. This material world, so many problems are there, because this age of Kali, it's the effect of Kali, which is basically making people are so degraded. To accept this Vedic knowledge is not easy, but we have to do our own effort. We should not disheartened by this, but we should do our own effort, as Srila Prabhupada did, as our acharyas have done. So by following the parampara, by taking the right type of knowledge, we should go and promote this knowledge. That's the way we can actually make the change. As I say, even if we can make some few people devotees, I'm not talking about even if I can make one person a devotee, I will be really happy. So, but again, if we can collectively make, even let's say, for example, ISKCON of Philadelphia, even if we get 200 people, 300 people, if they become really serious devotee, it's a great success. It's a great success. We cannot convert the whole Philadelphia. We cannot convert the whole US. Forget about So we cannot even convert one country, one county or one township, because it's really challenging, right? Really challenging. But even if we can actually like make a nice congregation of devotees who are serious devotees, then it will be great success. At least we can think about that, So we should make our own effort and live up to Krishna, As Krishna says, karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So you do your activity, live up to Krishna. We do our preaching and live up to Krishna for the result, and Krishna will take care, Is that okay, bro?
Yeah, Hare, yeah, that's right. But like the Islamic group are doing that radical thing, and how come our Sanatan Dharma is we follow even inclusion, but Islamic is becoming too radical. So how can we not have an ambition that we should be sending this to maximum? I mean, keeping that in mind, that gives an enthusiasm, right? If we see it that way.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, see, for that we need to have a like according to Vedic system, like there is a Brahmana class, which is basically their job is or their what do you call, their dharma is to preach the knowledge, to educate the society the right type of thing, and Srila Prabhupada's mission is to create first class Brahmana in the society. So we are basically from that platform. But if somebody is a Kshatriya, as you are saying, there are Kshatriyas like administrator. So if they're administrator, they should stop this radicalization. It's not that like a Brahmana should take this task. So like, as I say, like the administrator, the governments, this state, they should stop this radicalization, because if people are forcing to do that thing, so they should stop that. And it doesn't mean that because they are radicalized that we also become like that. We should be following what our process is given by our acharyas in our Vedic system, the way we should go like that. So we will go the way the path shown by our acharyas. We'll follow that. But about how other people are doing, that should be taken care by the authorities, like the management or the government, state government, country government. They should handle that, not us. But we are not competing with them actually, like in the sense that yes, we are spreading the knowledge. We are not saying that, well, we are same like them. They are on different platform, we are on different platform. We are spreading knowledge of love of Godhead. We are talking about love, they are talking about hate. So that's a separate thing. We are not on the same platform. That should be handled by the government, and our thing should be handled by the way we are doing in a Parambara. So I would say, like, we don't need to compete with them as become like if they are radicalized, so let them be like that. That will be handled by the government, by the law, by the state law, by the country law, whatever. But for us, we should basically follow a process of spreading love of God. Srila Prabhupada used to say that if we do Harinam Sankirtan and distribute prasadam, then everything become satisfied. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya. Everyone become peaceful if we spread this more. So even the Islamic countries or whatever, like people who are radicalized, if we spread this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and distributing prasadam, even they will leave their radicalization. But again, point is that they should get exposure of that. When they're going to get, how they're going to get, I don't know. I have no formula for that. But Krishna, we have seen that, or we are like Srila Prabhupada have said that, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra can change anyone. It's not that, like Jagai and Madai, we have the perfect example in our like Jagai and Madai. They were so crooked people. They were drunkard. They were like doing all type of crime. They are torturing people, kidnapping people, raping people. Those two wretched people like Jagai and Madai also changed by chanting Hare Krishna Mantra. So if what I'm saying, like they are radicalized, that's fine. But we should give them the Hare Krishna Mantra and prasadam, and if they can accept it, then their life will be changed. But again, like I would not say that we should take those in our hand. Let law take care of them. There's a law for that. There is a government for that. There is a army, soldiers, everyone, like police. They are there for them if they are doing wrong thing. We are here to spread love. We are here to spread love of Godhead. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here to spread love of Godhead and to deliver all the people here in the world who accept this opportunity. So that's what I can say to go about that.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's what my point was. But we wanted to spread as much as we can,
Yes.
keeping that intent in mind, that the truth has to be revealed in with the bona fide spiritual masters. That has to come into, because people are getting eluded, who doesn't read and so they get influenced on the wrong way, and that should not happen, because there are consequences of violence, hatred, which is being spread out. So I kind of agree with you, because Harinam Sankirtan movement is the only way which looks practical, which can be applied easily. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing your knowledge.
Yes, yes. You can also read in the science of self-relation. Srila Prabhupada have a discussion with I think the chief commissioner of police from the Chicago city, and in that conversation, he was asking, do you have any formula to stop the crime or reduce the crime? So Srila will say that the best way is you give us a building and we'll perform Harinam Sankirtan and distribute Prasadam, the crime will subside, crime will go away.
That's
So
right.
Srila has given this formula that the best way to control the criminal mentality of the people or this kind of thing is basically introduce them to Krishna consciousness by giving them prasadam, like the delicious, sumptuous prasadam, Krishna prasadam, Jagannath prasadam, and let them involved in chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and then sing and dance. Slowly, things will basically cool it down. So that's the formula that he gave it, and I'm just repeating the words of Srila Prabhupada. That's all. All right. So, okay.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else have any other comments or questions before we end our call? Okay, so thank you all. Hare Krishna, everyone. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu vevacha patitanam
Prabhupada Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Vaishnavebhyo Namo.
Thank you very much.
Ankodi Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you very much.